Hello, everyone! I bet a lot of you didn't expect this video to come out this soon, considering the gaps that are usually between these kind of videos, but I don't know, I really wanted to make this video. In fact, I wanted to do this one before the SpongeBob video, but, I asked some people and they didn't want me to do this one first, so that's why this one was second. But bottom line, we're here with a Mario Kart games tier list, and as a lot of you may know, tier lists are dead, but life support, so I'm not going to even bother saying it this time. You should be used to it by now. Secondly, I've always been a fan of Mario Kart. I mean, I guess at first I wasn't too crazy about it, but then once I started playing the other games, that's when it kind of changed. So, yeah, so I thought, why not put together this stupid little tier list of what I think are the best Mario Kart games. Now, before we go any further, I will say a few things. One, this is 100% opinion-based. So if you disagree with any choices I put here, then yeah, it's good for you. You keep liking the game, okay? But again, it's wrong to go out harassing people for their opinions, because that's what the internet is good for, honestly. Anyway, to make this more clear, I'm going to go over the tiers. S, absolutely phenomenal game, a game that is very important to me. A is a great game, B is an okay game, C is a game, and no is self-explanatory. Absolutely not. And you might notice we have another category here, not played. I will shamefully admit that there are a few games that we're going to be talking about today that I have not played yet for one reason or another, but most of them I have, so not a lot of games are going to end up here. And finally, because, you know, there's a bunch of Nintendo fans out there, and if you don't know what a Nintendo fan is, they are someone who really despises Nintendo, practically. So, to stay on their good side, I am going to be including the Mario Kart games that Nintendo wants you to forget about. Or, in other words, the non-mainline Mario Kart games. So, waka waka if you catch my drift. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let us begin. Let's not waste any more time. We're going to jump in with the very first Mario Kart game. The one that started it all, Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And,
We're off to a blistering fucking start!
Yep, I'm sure everybody and their mother is saying, "You absolute moron! You dare put Super Mario Kart in no S, you moron, SSS!" Well, look, I am very well aware that Super Mario Kart was like the first of its kind. This one defined the kart racing genre, or technically started it. And it was a very revolutionary game back then. It was like nothing like, you know, kind of changed the way we see racing games. But I'm sorry, guys. I've never liked this game. I feel like if I was born in the early 90s and I grew up with this game, that might be different. But no, look, I first got this game with the Wii Virtual Console, and I wanted to check it out, see how Mario Kart got its start, and oh boy, this certainly felt like its start. So, look, fellas, I'm not gonna say that it's a badly designed game. I'm not gonna say that, like, you know, the limitations ruined it. Okay, maybe there's some truth in that, but, like, still, my point here is that the reason why I don't like this game is, you know, a lot of the limitations that are understandable if you look at it, they really kind of halt the game from being truly special, in my opinion. I get the whole split-screen multiplayer thing, that makes sense, but the mini-map, which technically isn't even mini, it takes up half the screen, I don't know, it just makes it harder to play, in my opinion. And, let's see what else. The characters, the CPUs are, like, unworldly. Like, what the hell here? In the later difficulties, it seems like your items don't really work too well. In fact, they jump over your items. Who the hell programmed that? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get the love for Super Mario Kart. Like, I understand that people give it slack because it was the first of its kind. And, okay, you know what? Fine. You know what? Just to ease people's minds, and for that very reason, I suppose, I guess I'll put it in C. You happy, folks? But That's not to say that I like Super Mario Kart. I really don't. I know a lot of people give it slack because it was the first of its kind, but let's be real here. A lot of the games that we're going to be talking about soon really overshadow this one. Like, it just kind of blew it out of the water, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a very important piece of history, but it's not one that I look at with the fondest of memories. I'm terribly sorry. Again, if you love it, good for you. Just keep in mind, I am not a 90s guy. I'm an early 2000s guy. That's my excuse. Moving down the line, we have Mario Kart 64 for the Nintendo 64, obviously. And this game, oh boy, this one definitely fixed a lot of my problems with Super Mario Kart. For one thing, it controls a little bit better. I know a lot of people argue this is like the best controlling Mario Kart game, but honestly, I don't really agree with that. I feel like that's a bit of an overstatement, but it is playable. I'd argue that Mario Kart 64 is more playable than Super Mario Kart. Because that's a little bit more slippery. And again, that's one thing about, let me just put this down for a second. That's one thing about Super Mario Kart I can, like, pass on because, like, you know, again, it was the first kind of kart racing game. So, you know, they were still kind of, this was just a new thing. And I'm not gonna lie, not a lot of people were doing kart racers, so Mario Kart 64 was still new, so I can excuse the whole control thing with this game as well. But again, it still is more playable, honestly, than, like, say, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 1. Yuck. But, yes, Mario Kart 64, I gotta say, though, the rubber banding AI in this game is brutal, even on 50cc. You know, I would, for that reason. I'm not crazy about rubber banding AI in kart racers, which was like a requirement for early or late 90s games. But, honestly, you'd be surprised. That doesn't really affect this game for me, because, honestly, there's a very big charm to this game. I also got this on Virtual Console. I think the first two Mario Kart games were my first ever Virtual Console games on the Wii, because, again, I was getting into Mario Kart around the time. I think it was like 2011, 2012, I'm not sure. But, yeah, Mario Kart 64, the tracks in this game, now, that was a step up, honestly. Now, I know, again, track-wise, limitations, and I don't fault that. And there are some good tracks in this game, but, like, Mario Kart 64, like, it really pushed it into overdrive, because some of these levels were freaking awesome. Like, Calamari Desert, Wario Stadium, like, that was a bit long. Rainbow Road was a cool stage, but even then, super freaking long. This was later, I mean, stuff like this was later justified in later games, but still, like, there were some other great tracks. Bowser's Castle in this was pretty cool. Donkey Kong's Jungle Parkway. What other ones were cool? I'd be here all day talking about tracks, but basically, some better designed tracks. I think they have some good tracks in this game. What else here? And, you know, one thing I like is that they justified the difficulty in a way for younger players. So, I guess they wanted to make it intense for no matter who you are. They wanted to have this game be intense. But to justify that, all of the stuff that genuinely people would care about is unlocked from the start. This is one of the few Mario Kart games where the Special Cup is unlocked from the start. The only unlockables are an alternate title screen, which I'd argue isn't as good as the default title screen, and mirror mode, which doesn't really give you anything afterwards. So, honestly, if you don't care about those ones, then you pretty much have everything you would want from the start in Mario Kart 64. And, I mean, it's Mario Kart 64. It's like, it's very addicting. And the items here. Now, there's one thing about Super Mario Kart. It's going in A. Let me just say that. Mario Kart 64 is going in A. No doubt about it. One thing about Super Mario Kart that I didn't really like, and I'm assuming this had to do with limitations as well, real-life players, or like human players, are the only ones that can use proper items, like the shells, the mushrooms, the banana peels. But computer players, they have their own special items they use. Like, Koopa has, like, a green shell, which he lobs instead of throws. Donkey Kong Jr., yeah, for some reason he's in that game. He has, like, a banana peel that he pretty much uses normally, although he throws it, like, directly on a track. Mario Kart 64 kind of has that, but honestly, it's not as random as this, honestly. Bowser has moving fireballs, Peach and Toad have poison mushrooms, and Mario and Luigi I hate the most. They can use stars at any point in the game, even if they're in first. That's just, I'm sorry, that rubbed me the wrong way. So the fact that they were finally able to give the computer players the items that you would expect, like the shells and all that, That's what I like, honestly. That works so much better. The red shells are a little wonky in this game, though, and this was the game to introduce the blue shell. Screw Nintendo. What is a spiny shell? I know, it's from a spine. I get that, but let's be real. It's the color blue. You call the green and red shells green and red shells. It's a blue shell. But bottom line, this is honestly a good game. And honestly, the blue shell doesn't appear that much, believe it or not. But just note, yeah, this is the first time it appeared. Basically, the music, I love the music. The music in this game is pretty good. I definitely say that they're probably better controlling kart racers on Nintendo 64, like Diddy Kong Racing and Mickey Speedway USA, but this definitely is a step up from Super Mario Kart, so A is where that goes. Now, moving on to 2001, we have the Game Boy Advance, and we are finally able to process 32-bit games, or basically Super Nintendo level kind of games, and that is when Mario Kart Super Circuit comes along, and yeah, again, it's Game Boy Advance, so there are going to be limitations like Super Mario Kart, but truth be told, it is a very similar game to Super Mario Kart, very similar, to the point where, yeah, it's kind of in C as well, but there are improvements that do put it over Super Mario Kart. For one thing, because this is slightly better technology we're dealing with here, we have the Mario Kart 64 item situation. The computer players use the items that you can use. So, that works. Blue Shell's also in this, but it's rare. You can even outrun it in this game, which is crazy. Yeah, again, they're rare, so it doesn't really matter. Some pretty cool tracks in this game for like a Mode 7 game. Like Cheeseland, Ribbon Road. The Rainbow Road in this one's pretty cool with the Paper Mario reference. I like that. Let me think what else, what other good tracks are there. Riverside Drive, I think that was called. The Riverside, Lakeside courses, I like those ones. But basically, yeah, even for like a Mode 7 game, it's definitely a good game. It is decent, honestly. Because truth be told, yeah, I wanted to put Super Mario Kart in no, because Super Circuit, I don't like it. It's not like I'm not crazy about it, but even then I can see there's a lot more improvements than Super Mario Kart. Even then, I still sometimes revisit this one more than Super Mario Kart. You know what? I'm sorry. That's just bothering me. I'm so bad. Again, you love it? You think it's an S? Good for you. You do that. I'm not trying to change your opinion, okay? That's just wrong to do that. But Super Circuit is definitely much more an improvement. It has the entire Super Mario Kart game in it, albeit with removed obstacles. But honestly, this is honestly my more preferred way to play Super Mario Kart. How you unlock them is a pain in the ass, though, I'll say that. But, yeah, and same thing. Aside from that, the unlockables otherwise are alternate title screens, and there's no mirror mode. So, I guess that's understandable. But, yeah, and the controls are very slippery. You can adapt to it, like, there's like a whole right-to-go left kind of cars thing going on here. But, yeah, it's still a playable game, if you ask me. You just kind of have to get good at it, which, you know, I think the best kart racers are the ones that you could pick up and play. But, still, it is still like a well-designed game. I can't deny that. But overall, gameplay-wise, rather be playing Mario Kart 64. And in my opinion, I think there's better like Game Boy Advance kart racers out there. Like, hell, Cartoon Network Racing and Nicktoons Racing. No, not Nick Speedway. My bad. Cartoon Network Speedway. I'd argue that those games are a lot better. Hell, I heard like Crash Nitro Kart on Game Boy was better. So, yeah. But again, this was like, I think the first kart racer on Game Boy Advance. So, it does have an excuse. And it did a better job of like, you know, doing that hardware limitation stuff. So, yeah, that's why it's over at Super Mario Kart, because I know some people argue this one's the worst, and they give this one the credit, like, you know, a pass because it was the first of its kind, but I'm sorry. Gameplay comes first, in my opinion, and if something has not aged well, I don't sugarcoat crap. But overall, Super Circuit is still a decent little game, but nothing like special nowadays. I'm sure it was groundbreaking back then, but, you know, that's kind of a thing, you know. Things don't age well, people. But moving on, I think if you know me, you know what comes next. Hell yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash. Oh, I'm gonna cry with this one. Now, people, if you've watched my channel, you know that I freaking love Double Dash. Double Dash was if it's no secret, this is not like your average Mario Kart game. 2 people in a cart. I want to thank the person whoever thought of that, because holy shit, that resulted in what I argue is the most insane Mario Kart game ever created. It's like this was made by, like, the mentally insane, like Gonzo from the Muppets. If he made a freaking Mario Kart game, this is what it would be. Absolute chaos. And you know what? Even if it does get too chaotic and difficult, it's still a blast to play, because it just becomes a hilarious game, honestly, actually. Because, like, you have, like, the carts flip over, your second player who's in the back, like, drags along the road when they get hit by a powerful item. It's absolute, it's not only a fun Mario Kart to play, it's a very funny game if you don't take it seriously. And this one had unlockable characters. Holy crap, a whole bunch of different characters in this game. You not only had, like, the basics, like Mario, Luigi, Wario. He wasn't in this one because he wasn't introduced yet. But, like, you know, Koopa came back. And then you had a bunch of new characters. Daisy, Waluigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Birdo, Bowser Jr., who made his debut a year before this, Waluigi, and unlockable characters. Like, this is the only game where Toad's unlockable, because of the introduction of Toadette. And granted, you're going to see this become a problem with later Mario Kart games. I'm not too crazy when characters get introduced for the first time in Mario Kart games, but this one's an exception because, you know, it's, technically, there were female Toads before that in, like, Paper Mario, but, again, to make, you know, they had to make Toad unlockable to compromise her debut, and I think it works, honestly. And yeah, the chaos that unfolds with this game. Holy crap, the special character items, a freaking chain chomp. Holy crap, man. Now that was something else right there. And if you're wondering why I'm so, like, geeking out about this game, not only was it the first Mario Kart game I ever played, it was the first Mario game I ever played. This was my introduction to Mario, and I will never forget the first time I popped in this game. And I'm like, holy crap, what is this that I'm about to get myself into? This game is very close to me, very close. And that tracks, oh my god, the tracks. What a trip. Baby Park, Peach Beach, Wario Coliseum, Waluigi Stadium, Dino Jungle, Donkey Kong Mountain. Holy crap, this was my Mario Kart. This will always be my Mario Kart. And at the top of S it goes. My heart goes out to Mario Kart Double Dash. Because chances are, if it wasn't for this game, I probably wouldn't be into kart racers. I didn't play a lot of kart racing games before this one. This is like the first kart racing game I think I played. And, yeah. I mean, I played driving games before, but this was like the first kart racer I played. And, man, very strategy-based game, but it is one that I will always love. And it will always be at the top of one of my favorite GameCube games. It's like one, obviously, it's like a top 5er, honestly, for my favorite GameCube games. Maybe number 1, I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about which ones are really my favorites. Maybe I'll do that at some point, I'm not sure. Not really guaranteed, but yes. Mario Kart Double Dash. My heart goes out to it. I adore this game with all of my life. Now, next up, truth be told, I wasn't going to include this because it's not really an official game, but I decided because it was pitched to Nintendo as an idea, I might as well throw it in for shits and giggles. This is a tech demo called Mario Kart XXL, or Extra Extra Large. Yeah, it's a tech demo, and it was pitched to, you know, it kind of had like a little bit more advanced stuff than Super Circuit, like a double-layered map sort of thing, and it looked cool, I suppose, but truth be told, can I really argue this as a game? Yeah, honestly, eyeballing it, I don't know if it would have turned out too well. In fact, I think that's probably why Nintendo didn't greenlight it. Plus, I guess the DS was around the corner, so that's another reason. But I'm sure a lot of you are surprised I even brought this up. This was founded, like, I think, like, mid-2010s, I'm not sure, by a collector who didn't want to share it due to, you know, not wanting to get in trouble. Understandable, of course. But eventually, I think he sold it, and then it ended up in the hands of someone else who did upload it to the internet. And I have played this one, with ways, of course. Don't tell Nintendo. But, yeah. I still think this is, you know, I can see what they were trying to pitch here. I forgot the people who actually developed this. But it's not really, I can see why it didn't get picked up. So honestly, I think I prefer Super Circuit more, even if it's like a more jittery, and again, there's better kart racer games out there. But yeah, I know some of you are going to argue I probably shouldn't even include this at all, but hey, you know, what can you do? Now, moving on the subject of games that you know, I'm going to count because why the hell not? We're moving on to our first non-mainline Mario Kart game. Yeah, sorry Nintendo, but you know, you can't hide this stuff. This is Mario Kart Arcade GP. The GP stands for Grand Prix. Now, I believe this is one game, or maybe the first one, I'm not too sure, in the Triforce series. Now, not talking about Legend of Zelda. I'm talking about a little thing back in like the mid-2000s. Nintendo, Namco, and Sega got together, and they started making arcade games together, and this was one of them. And yeah, Mario Kart in an arcade. It honestly, it sounds just about right, because they're like Nicktoons Racing got put in arcades, but even though that wasn't built for arcades. So, you know, if that could be in there, why can't a Mario Kart be in there? And long and behold, that's what happened in 2005 with Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix. Now this was a really good game. The items were off the walls. Like, you had Boo's in this game, you had Boo, but he doesn't steal your items, he slows you down. It's almost like he's licking the back of the player's head. Sorry if I just grossed you out there. But, yeah, you got, like, granted, most of the items are duplicates. Like, not only do you have banana peels, but then you also have, like, poison banana peels. Is there a difference? And then you have, like, buckets of oil, which I think was in a prototype for Super Mario Kart, but then they removed it because it was deemed too generic. Make what you will of that. But yeah, yeah, Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix, it was honestly a pretty fun game. I've seen this a lot of times in arcades, and I've always played them. Some pretty cool worlds. It's not Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, none of that. You have Mario Cup with Mario Beach and Mario Highway. You got a Wario Cup, a Bowser Cup, a Rainbow Cup, Donkey Kong Cup with a lot of Donkey Kong Country characters. No K rule, sadly, I'll say that. I mean, and god freaking damn it, it has Pac-Man in it. I can't hate a Mario Kart game that has Pac-Man. Easily an A. Anytime I see this in an arcade, I waste all of my money on it, honestly. There is a save system with these things called Mario cards, and I have heard about how that works. And it's like, you know, the problem is once you select a character, you can't change it. And I think the card has a specific lifespan, and once that time's up, it's dead. I don't know if that's how it works, because all of the Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix I've ever come across, they don't have that. They have just a simple, you know, come up and play whatever you want kind of thing. But, yeah, I can only imagine if that is the case, then that would be pretty stupid. But overall, I still think Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix is a great game, and if you see it in arcade, I highly recommend playing it. Pac-Man sounds like a cracked out Mickey Mouse for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Moving on, we're going portable again with Mario Kart DS, which is notable as the first Mario Kart game with online multiplayer. Holy crap. I only did that like once or twice though, so I don't really have much memories with that. But yeah, what can be said about Mario Kart DS? Well, you know, different karts. Stunning a Double Dash had that, but still, this one had a lot more. It had Rob for some weird reason. I have no idea why. That's a very odd choice, but okay. Some of the Nitro tracks, the new tracks here, are really cool. Tick-Tock Clock, Wario Stadium, and this one is pretty cool. The Rainbow Road was pretty cool as well. Not the best in the series, but definitely a cool one. And Yoshi Falls, and those are really some cool tracks. And what else is there about this one? This was the very last battle mode. I forgot to say, Mario Kart obviously has battle mode. Not this one because it's a prototype, and not this one because, well, it's an arcade game. But, yeah, if you're wondering what my favorite battle mode is, it's easily Double Dash. 64 a second, and this one will probably be third. This one is notable as it is the last Mario Kart game with the last man standing system. And honestly, for that reason, it's also the only last man standing Mario Kart battle with single player. Actually, I think it's the first Mario Kart game with single player too, so there's that. But, with battle mode single player. And, it's pretty cool, honestly. It's I really wish it was I really wish they would have kept that, but they didn't for some stupid reason, because I mean it's Nintendo we're talking about here, so I suppose so. But Mario Kart DS, I have a lot of great memories with snaking. Holy crap, is that something right there? Holy crap. The retro tracks. The retro tracks. This was the debut of the retro tracks. And I know some people feel indifferent about retro tracks, but honestly, I think it's a great addition bringing these tracks, especially if it's like your favorite track. The DS choices are all right, I suppose. I mean, I guess it was the first game that had legitimate retro tracks, unless you count the Super Circuit stuff. But yeah, they're fine. The choices they selected were okay, I guess. Nothing groundbreaking, I suppose. But still, DSO. And of course, mission mode. Nintendo, why did you get rid of mission mode after this game? It was a great mode. Single player action, baby. That's what it was. But of course not. Of course not. If Nintendo makes something good, they got to get rid of it because no. I made that joke in a lot of video. I'm sorry. But yes, Mario Kart DS. This was another good one, but alas, it's not top, obviously. I'd probably say in the middle of Mario Kart 64 and Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix. Definitely a great game, and I wish the Wii U eShop was not closed because if anyone's wondering, Mario Kart DS was a virtual console on Wii U, and I actually did buy that. It's great, but unfortunately, yeah, that's closed down. So, whatever. It's the Wii U, I guess. People won't really care. But yeah, Mario Kart DS in the middle of A. Next up, we have another game that Nintendo does not want to think about. This is Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2. And, okay, truth be told, this is the same game as Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 1, but it has more content. It has unlockable carts. It has character-specific items. It has 2 new cups, the Yoshi Cup and the Waluigi Cup. Waluigi's also in the game now. And they have, Meimichi from Tamagotchi Pets. Okay, very odd, but whatever, I guess. A lot of you could argue that this should be above Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2, but the truth is, I've never seen this one in an arcade. Therefore, I've never played it legitimately. I have played it with other means. I'm not going to say what those are. And I will say, yes, the extra content is very welcoming. But truth be told, I'm going to put it at the beginning of B, honestly, because I personally like Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 1 more, just because it was the first one I played. I've played it a lot more in the arcades. It's just more common, honestly. And, yeah, I guess I have a bit of nostalgia for that one. But this one, I've never really had the same experience, so I couldn't tell you, like, you know. Plus, I think, again, because I've never played it in the arcades, I'm not sure if this one has the, just, you know, standard arcade mode, or if it's exclusively card stuff. I do know the card system is a lot better here. You can actually change your characters, but, you know, again, I played this one a lot more in the arcades itself, and there's just a little bit more charm to this one, if you ask me. If you want to disagree, go ahead. I'm not going to change your opinion, but it just, again, you can't argue with nostalgia and personal stuff, I suppose. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? But yeah, beginning of B is where Mario Kart Grand Prix 2 is going. Moving on, we got the big boy. The biggest selling one, probably the one that still is selling, the one that still holds the title. I'm not sure. One of the other ones might have taken it. We'll get to that one. But Mario Kart Wii. I got a lot of friends who adore this game. And it's like their first one. But Mario Kart Wii was like the big Mario Kart game. That really, it sold a lot. The Wii wheel, the very novelty of like using the Wii remote as a wheel. It was cool. A lot of people argue that it's the preferred way to play the game. I use classic controller because I'm old school. Don't argue. You can't argue with old school. Sorry. If you use GameCube controller, you know, it's the same thing. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, Mario Kart Wii, where is this one going? It had a lot of stuff, a lot of characters. It had Dry Bowser, Dry Bones, who was in DS, Rosalina. That was a very interesting choice. Funky Kong. We're gonna meme it up, Funky Kong. Yeah. And then, Baby Daisy made her debut in this game. Nintendo, why do you do these things? Look, it's only going to get worse from here on out, folks. Let's just say that. But, yeah, this was the first Mario Kart game where the point-based battle mode came into play. And, look, it's not bad if you're, like, playing online, I suppose. They didn't even have online. I only played Mario Kart Wii online a couple of times. And I know there were, like, online tournaments with challenges and boss battles. But, I never played any of those. And, oh, yeah, by the way, it was online only. No in-game challenges. I think it's been, like, found that they were going to do that, but it didn't happen for one reason or another. I'm not sure. But, the tracks in this game, now this honestly had some really great tracks. Coconut Mall, Mushroom Gorge, Koopa Cape, DK Summit, Daisy Circuit. I really liked Daisy Circuit, honestly. And the retro tracks, honestly, I think this game had, like, some of the best retro track choices. Like Mario Circuit, Donkey Kong Jungle, again, Donkey Kong's Jungle Parkway. What other ones did they have? The Bowser's Castle for Mario Kart 64. So really great choices in this one, honestly. But, truth be told, there is one thing that kind of bumps this game down a bit for me. And that's the items. They are, I think, a little overpowered in this game. A little bit overpowered. Like, if you get hit by a blue shell, you're gonna get passed by some people. It's almost guaranteed. And, yeah, like, the items are really effective. You thought they were effective in Double Dash. Oh, no, this game, there's a lot more airtime when you get hit by an item. And, yeah, but it's still a very enjoyable game, in my opinion. And it took a long freaking time for me to 100% this one. Yeah, I did go through the trouble. This is when I got hooked on Mario Kart. And, unfortunately, that was years ago. Unfortunately, my skills for Mario Kart Wii have since drained away due to other games that have come out. But I still enjoy this game, but it's not going to go too high. I mean, in terms of the item stuff, if you don't believe me, if you've seen the Daisy video, the meme video with Daisy, you know what I'm talking about. That kind of crap. This is technically where you got Mario Karted came from. But, yeah. So, I think I'll put it in the back of B. It's definitely, you know, a good game, but, like, I don't argue it as the best of the best, like some people would say. But it's still a really good game. Moving on, though, we have Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. This was, I think, the first 3DS game I played when I got it with my 3DS because, again, I was a sucker for Mario Kart. And, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you here, folks. I don't really have, I've got some beef with this one. I got a personal gripe with this one. So, it seems like whenever I 100%ed this game, it would always, like, corrupt my save data, and I would always have to do it all over again. I mean, I even got, like, the alternate title screens, but, like, again, lost all that. And there's a lot just that rubs me the wrong way with this game. I've since realized that. Notably, this is the first game that had the glider and the underwater gimmicks. By the way, Mario Kart Wii had the motorcycles. But, yeah, Mario Kart 7. Now, there's a lot of things that rub me wrong. One, no single-player versus. What the hell? Even DS had that. Super Circuit had that. How? I don't understand that. The mini-map system. DS had a great mini-map system where you could see upcoming items and obstacles from, like, the hazards on the stage. This one, you can see items coming from players, but you can't see obstacles. Did we go backwards in hardware here? And, the unlocking character situation is absolutely stupid. Like, all exclusive to 150cc? Like, I know that's probably not a problem to people who are, like, big on Mario Kart, like, who see, like, 150cc as nothing, but, like, still, you really shouldn't do that. You should be a little bit more easy, or, like, have, like, at least some characters in, like, 50cc or 100cc. That's what Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii did. So, I don't see why they didn't do it with this. But some of the character choices are stupid. Like, flat out stupid. Like, sure, you got the good things, like Daisy and, I guess, Shy Guy, too. But, like, you have Wario as an unlockable character? Like, much like Toad, he's usually a standard character, like, that appears in these games. And yet, this is the only game where he's unlockable. Again, Super Mario Kart doesn't count because he didn't make his debut when that game came out. But, yeah, I don't understand like that. And Willy Wiggler and the Honey Queen, are you for real? Like, I don't know what they're... And Metal Mario. Oh boy, that's just a big metaphor. Or like a big, like, no, what's the right term I'm looking for? Karma, not karma, no. Let me think. Foreshadowing, there you go. Foreshadowing. That would be very foreshadowing for the future of Mario Kart character rosters, honestly. But, yes, you could customize your kart, which I guess was cool. I think that's one thing that I really liked about the game. And the glider mechanics and the underwater stuff was cool, too. The courses were really great, I'll admit that. The courses in this game were cool. You had, like, Rosalina's Ice World, and, Rock Mountain, and, what other good ones were there? The Rainbow Road in this one's probably one of my favorite Rainbow Roads. The music was so good. Oh, the Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road music. Oh, that was some good shit right there. I cannot deny that. But, yeah, but what else about this game rubbed me the wrong way? I guess, like, I think I've just said everything I've said. Like, no single-player versus. And, oh, by the way, to unlock kart pieces, they brought the coins back. Well, okay, truthfully told, I forgot to explain this. Super Mario Kart had coins that allowed you to speed up. You lose them very easily, though. Mario Kart Super Circuit had them as well. Again, same kind of procedure there. Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix had it, which is strange, but okay. And then 2 had it as well, but they also had Mario Coins, which would unlock you stuff. All of these games function as speed. And Mario Kart 7 does as well, but the coins also double as currency towards the kart parts. Once you get a certain amount, you unlock a kart piece. It's not easy to get coins in this game. Like, I know there was, like, online groups that helped you with that, but even then, still, it wasn't necessarily ideal. And plus, I think the onlines did, I'm not too sure. The only really good way to get it in single player, or the only way to get it in single player, aside from online, is Grand Prix, which is really stupid. Not even time trial helps you. And I know some people argue, coin runners, dummy, do coin runners. Well, no, I can guarantee that all those reports are wrong, and coin runners does not give you the coins. You can't keep the coins in coin runners, which is really stupid. But, yeah, it's a big hassle. And, the retro track choices are good, too. You have Daisy Cruiser, Dino Jungle, which is currently the only Special Cup track from Double Dash represented. I want Wario Coliseum, goddammit. Yeah, and then Calamari Desert, Koopa Beach, like, you got the basics there. But, I can't argue that I go back to Mario Kart 7 because, honestly, if there's any Mario Kart game that does not offer a lot for single player, this is the one for me. Honestly, this is the one that rubbed me the wrong way, so I'll put it at the top of C. I think it's a better controlling game than Super Circuit, but I can't say that this is one that I want to go back to anytime soon. Moving on down the line, we come to Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe. Once again, this is another one that I have not played properly in arcades, but I have played with other means. Can't say what those are, of course. Okay, so the other games, honestly, I love the other Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix games. But this one, I don't know. This one just kind of lost a bit of charm to me, if you ask me. It's got, like, new karts. You got the glider stuff. You got, like, newer characters, like Rosalina. But, I don't know. I think this one kind of lost. I think, like, one thing I liked, I'll just put this down for a second. What I liked about these other ones is that they were developed by Namco, and you could tell that they didn't necessarily look on par with Nintendo. Like, you got, like, the Toads look a little weird looking, and Diddy Kong looks like he was ripped straight from Diddy Kong Racing, because he appears in the background, by the way. And then you had, like, GAD Science and Corporations, which was just briefly mentioned in Super Mario Sunshine. That appears in this game. And I'm mad respect, because, EGAD's one of my favorite Mario characters. My favorite underrated Mario character. He should be in Mario Kart, honestly. What's taking them so long? What's taking them so long for that? But, yeah. But this one, I think this is when, like, Nintendo came in and was like, okay, you gotta make it look like New Super Mario Brothers. That's kind of a thing that started happening. And, like, basically, they made it look more Nintendo-ish. Because times had changed, that's why. Pac-Man is now Ghostly Adventures Pac-Man, which I'm not entirely against, but still, I don't know. I guess this was during the time that, again, Ghostly Adventures was going on. They wanted to market that, I suppose. And then the Miss Pac-Man mumbo-jumbo was starting to happen, which led to Pac-Woman, or whatever the hell that character was in Pac-Man World, whatever that was. I'm not well-versed with Pac-Man. I really should play Pac-Man World, honestly. But, yeah, I don't know. This one kind of lost some charm. Also, one thing that kind of bothers me about this game, there's an announcer that commentates the whole race, and for the life of me, I don't think you could turn that off. Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2 had that as well, but you could turn it off. But even then, there's like, it's just muting the dialogue, and like, the beginning of the race is incredibly dragged out still, because usually the announcer's talking over it. But, I don't know if you could turn that announcer voice off in this one. From what I could tell, you couldn't. You have a raffle system to unlock stuff, which is pretty stupid, honestly. But, whatever, it is what it is. I think Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2 had a better job in terms of unlocking stuff. But, I mean, it's still a playable arcade game, but, like, I don't know. I think it just, personally to me, it loses some of the charm from these other arcade games. So, I'm gonna put it, like, in between 7 and Super Circuit. That's where it's gonna go. And then, here it comes. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. Now, this was when things really shifted into some gears, alright. Because, now, truth be told, this is when I was kind of growing out of Mario Kart. I guess because 7 was kind of, keeping me down a bit. But, Mario Kart 8, I had a friend in school who talked about the game, and they were like, you should totally buy the game. And I was like, I'm not really into Mario Kart. And then she was telling me, but this is really good. This is a really good game. You should buy it. And I'm like, okay, why not? And I want to thank her for letting me do that, because honestly, or not letting me do that, for encouraging me to do it. That's the right word. Mario Kart 8 was definitely a step in the right direction for the most part. The tracks in this game were off the walls. The anti-gravity, great feature, I gotta say. And the tracks here, yeah, the tracks like Mount Wario, the Bowser's Castle in this one was pretty cool. What was it called? The disco stage. Well, how did I forget the stage? Sorry, I'm trying to think of the stuff off the bat. I played Wii recently, that's why. Mario Kart 8 had a bunch of great tracks. The underwater gimmicks and the gliding gimmicks return. And best of all, they brought back single-player versus. Hell yes! Thank you. And coins are much more easier to get in this game, for unlockable-wise. Unlocking characters is a lot easier, too. They made that, like every cup you complete until you get all the characters. Much appreciated if you just want to go for the characters. Kart parts are here. Motorcycles return. You got ATVs. Very interesting. And I am judging this with the DLC. So, like, the different colored Yoshis, the different colored Shy Guys. Truth be told, you can't buy the DLC anymore because of, the eShop closing. But, regardless, you got Legend of Zelda. Link got added. Holy crap. Animal Crossing got added as well. And those stages were pretty cool. The retro tracks, some good choices. Again, I think we still had the best choices. But, like, seeing these, like, this is when they were kind of like, they went from, trying to make them look like how they looked in their original games to, let's just give them an HD coat of paint, remake, technically, kind of sense. Depending on who you are, that could be good or bad. I'm kind of in the middle of the scale. I personally, I liked what they did with the Double Dash tracks, even though they removed the Tornado in Dry Desert, and the Freezies don't freeze you in, Sherbet Land. But I still think they looked great, honestly. It blew my mind seeing those in HD. Especially when they announced they were putting Yoshi's Circuit and Baby Park in there. And, I'll argue Baby Park in Mario Kart 8 is more chaotic than the one in DS, but not as chaotic as the one in Double Dash. I think Double Dash still holds the candle for that. But, yes. Holy crap. Like, Mario Kart DS had Mario Kart 8 had a lot of content. Character-wise, I mean, you got the Koopalings. That sounded cool when I first heard it, but, I don't know. I guess I would have wanted other characters. Pink and Gold Peach. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. I heard it was because they were bringing back, they wanted to bring back Metal Mario, and they're like, you know what? if we're gonna make Metal Mario its own character, we should give him his own Peach. And honestly, retarded move. No, I'm sorry. That was a little hurtful there. Stupid move. Very stupid move. And then Baby Rosalina. What's with this Baby Daisy crap? Look, I don't hate Rosalina, but again, don't introduce babies in a kart racing game. And then DLC kind of, yeah, DLC with, again, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach. What the hell, man? Well, the roster, but then again, you still had, like, the returnings. Like, you had Waluigi, he came back, Shy Guy. Yeah, that basically, you know, honestly, I think those are the only important ones to me that returned. Huh. That's, okay, you know, truth be told, yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it was still a great game. Honestly, I think one of the best controlling Mario Kart games out there. But, you know, I still prefer Double Dash because it's nostalgia to me, honestly. It's like, again, that one that started it all for me. But, Mario Kart 8, I cannot deny, Mario Kart 8 definitely had a lot going for it. The battle mode, though, what the heck did they do to the battle mode? I'm not gonna lie, the concept of doing battle modes on the tracks themselves sounded interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it did sound interesting, but I think the execution was not good. Not good in the slightest, so... But again, I don't really play battle mode that much, so that's why. But I guess it's not really a big deal. But bottom line, Mario Kart 8 was cool. Oh, and then 200cc. What in the living hell was that about? Holy crap. I didn't bother with it because it wasn't, like, required towards anything, to my knowledge, so I didn't bother with that. So, where's Mario Kart 8 gonna go? Well, I think it'll go at the top of A. Yeah, top of A. And truth be told, I was a little bit on the fence about including Mario Kart 8, the original, in this, because of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah, now Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the Switch port of Mario Kart 8. It definitely did some cool things better. It gave us battle courses, actual battle courses. It still had the point gimmick, no elimination, which is pretty stupid. They brought back a lot of the modes that we are familiar with, like Coin Runners from Mario Kart Wii. And they brought back Shine Thief and Bomb Blast from Double Dash. Mad respect, because I loved those battle modes, or at least Bomb Blast. I wasn't crazy about Shine Thief, although that one could get psychotic. But, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe also had the new mode, Renegade Roundup, which, it's not much, honestly. I don't really have much to say about that one. I don't really care about that one. It had Luigi's Mansion Battle Course from Double Dash. Mad respect. Although the whole thing was reversed for some reason. No idea why. And it didn't really look like a Luigi's Mansion mansion. It didn't even have, like, the portraits with the portrait ghosts. Like... That's kind of stupid, but I guess whatever. It's Double Dash representation. I'll take what I can get. On the subject of that, they brought back double item boxes. That was really cool. Although, while you can hold 2 items at a time, you can't switch them, which is really stupid. They brought back King Boo, even though King Boo was... It's not the real King Boo, honestly. I don't know what's with Nintendo and the whole King Boo thing. You should use the Luigi's Mansion King Boo. That one's more badass. Whatever. And then they brought back Bowser Jr. and Dry Bones. Not Diddy Kong. I don't understand that. Diddy Kong last appeared in Wii. Although, was he in I forgot. Was he in Deluxe? I forgot. I forgot if he was in Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe. Possibly. I think he might have been. Not too certain. They added the Inklings from Splatoon, which is cool. And then one other, the new unlockable character they added, Gold Mario. People, be quiet. Stop with the bragging rights. That thing is not worth unlocking. You gotta do gold on all cups, including the DLC cups for, whatchamacallit, 200cc. What the hell, man? It was not worth it, and I don't even play as Gold Mario, because I feel like I'd be insulting myself if I did that. Again, braggers, you're just embarrassing yourselves. I'm sorry. Gold Mario is a piece of shit. But, yeah, honestly, you know what? Because there's a little bit more content, and, because you get the Wii U DLC for free with this one, and the characters that were kind of, I'd argue, were missing, you know what? S. I put this one in S. It's still not on top. Double Dash is still up there, but this is still a good Mario Kart, honestly. And, like, again, you had, like, the N64 Rainbow Road was in Mario Kart 8. And it fixed one problem I had. You know how I said this one was long? they fixed that with making it sections. By the way, yeah, Mario Kart 7 introduced the whole idea of sectioned courses. This one also had that, and they did that with Mario Kart, Rainbow Road 64. I know some people are going to argue it ruins the point of it, but I don't care. Plus, Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road wasn't that difficult because it was the whole thing was covered in walls. They removed the walls here. And honestly, it makes that version better. In fact, yeah, this is actually like, I think this is the course. That's the course here. Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road wasn't too good. I mean, it was more like electronic themed, and it just didn't scream rainbow to me. Whatever. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe goes up there. And I know that I'm missing something with this game, but we'll get to that. Moving up down the line, we have the last of the Mario Kart arcade games. Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix VR. Now, as the name implies, it's a VR game. Now, that sounds like a match made in heaven. A virtual reality Mario Kart game. You know I'd want to play that. But I haven't. I have never seen this in any arcade. It is in the US, I've heard, but never played it. Also, from what I've heard, there's no Pac-Man. What? How? I don't care if it was Ghostly Adventures Pac-Man. I want Pac-Man. Yeah, you know, but again, I haven't played this one, so I can't give the honest opinion. So that one goes in the not played category. I'm sorry, but then again, you know, I don't really live around here. I don't live near any arcades as much as I used to, so that's I moved. So I think I moved when this game released in Japan. So yeah, but it definitely still looks cool, and I really wish one day I'll play it. So moving on, we come to, oh boy, Mario Kart Tour for mobile devices. I don't know if it's just me, but I have never been crazy about the mobile Nintendo games. I don't know. I was never crazy about Mario Run, even though a lot of people were crazy about that. I don't know. Mario Kart Tour just kind of rubbed me the wrong way with, you know, if it was like a vertical screen car racing game, or no, horizontal screen. Yeah, no. That sounds stupid, right? Well, no, it is a vertical screen car racing game. That's the problem. I know that I probably shouldn't have judged it. I only played it for 30 minutes, and I could not stand it. I don't know what's wrong with this one. I can't gripe the controls. I'm not really a mobile person, if you couldn't tell. But if you've seen my SpongeBob games tier list, you'll know that. But yeah, I couldn't stand Tour, and you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with this game. They're still supporting it to this very day. Nintendo has some Tour problem, let's just say that. The point of this game is that it's a world tour. You have Mario Kart in real-life locations. And honestly, if you want your fix of racing, of cartoon racing in the real world, yeah, I'd say go play Mickey Speedway USA. That's a much better game. I know some people are probably going to argue, you know, I know this game was kind of, poorly received when it was released, but then they added content over time. I feel like nowadays you really have to, you'd have to work extra hard to play it. So, sorry about that. But, you know, when you start now, you're pretty much screwed, considering there's so much going on. And I've heard somewhere that the tours only last for a certain amount of time. I don't know how true that is. I really hope that's not true, because that would sound really bad, but oh wow, what can you do? You have some interesting new characters here. Pauline, Charging Chuck, Poochie, Nabbit, okay. They brought back some characters that people have been wanting, like they brought back Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, Petey, which is, you know, a plus for me, honestly, because I like Petey and Double Dash. But, yeah, honestly, I don't know. It just makes me wish there was a Mario Kart 9 rather than this. And the worst part is, I would love to say this is not an official Mario Kart game. Unfortunately, Nintendo does declare this as an official mainline Mario Kart game. God freaking damn it, but I can't stand this. I even on the easiest difficulty, I almost lose every race. I can't grab the controls of this one. I'm sorry. If you like this game, good for you. I'm not changing your opinion here. But, yeah, I personally think it's worse than Super Mario Kart. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but, yeesh. Moving on to another game, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Yeah, truth be told, I haven't played this one either because it's a toy-based game. I even downloaded the software because the software is free to download, just to see if there was any chance I could play without the toy, and nope. And the toy is like expensive too, like $70, $60, I don't know. Maybe it's 70, I don't know, 80 maybe, I don't know. I think it's 60 is like a game, but like just for a cart and a novelty game, from what I've heard, the game's not much. Like 10 minutes, honestly. So that's pretty stupid. If I played it, it'd probably be in like no, but I haven't played it, so I can't really give it a fair judgment, so that goes in not played either. And then finally, some could argue I shouldn't count this as a game, but you know what? Because it is about as big as the base game, I'm gonna count it. This is the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Let's try saying that 5 times fast. Which adds 48 more courses to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as well as 6 new characters. One of which being Petey Piranha. That's good for me. I was begging for Petey. And Kamek. Kamek actually has a very interesting history with these games. He was first seen to be in Mario Kart 64, but then he got cut and replaced with Donkey Kong. I think in the game files you can find that he was planned for 8, but scrapped. He finally made his debut in Tour. And then this is when he finally made to what I think fans would argue as a mainline Mario Kart game. Or like, you know, a proper mainline Mario Kart game. Because, I'm sorry, I can't consider this. I'm sure fans feel the same way. I'm not sure. I haven't seen what people think about Tour nowadays. But this booster course pack, on the subject of Tour, I think we should address the elephant in the room. The overabundance of Tour tracks. Yeah, you think I'm over-exaggerating when I say Nintendo has a weird obsession for Tour? No, this game kind of shows that, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. I don't want to sound hypocritical here, but, you know, I don't know. I'd rather have, like, you know, other tracks. Wii is pretty represented. Super Circuit, surprisingly, is represented pretty well. DS, you know, it has a handful there. Double Dash is extremely underrepresented, but it's GameCube. Nintendo hates the GameCube for some reason. We need, as of right now, there's only 5 of 6 waves out. We need 2 Double Dash tracks in 6. I'm sorry, we need Wave 6 to have 2 Double Dash tracks. I don't care if it's like the ones we've seen already, like Mario Circuit or Dino Jungle. I just want more Double Dash tracks. I mean, if we got Wario's Coliseum, that would be cool. But, you know, basically, yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack. I mean, it does have some of the fan favorite tracks like Mushroom Gorge, Waluigi Stadium, Daisy Cruiser, Waluigi Pinball. But, yeah, I don't know. So far, I think the course choices are half and half. Character choices so far are fine. You have Birdo, which I was surprised has been missing from these games. Petey, obviously, who's pretty much, I think he was due for a comeback, honestly. Because, you know, I love, he was in Double Dash, I love Double Dash, all that. Wiggler. Why? And then Kamek, who honestly deserved to be in this game. If you wonder who I think the last 2 characters will be, I'm hoping for Diddy Kong. I hope so. And Pauline. Because I'm glad that she's being utilized more. Because she's a very historical character. And thanks to Mario Odyssey, she's kind of been revived. So, I like that. But, I don't know. Knowing Nintendo, they're probably going to choose someone stupid like Charging Chuck and Poochie. Or are they gonna choose one of the millions of duplicate characters in Tour? Yeah, if you thought the duplicate stuff in Mario Kart 8 was bad, oh no, Tour took it to like infinity and beyond, honestly. So yeah, it seems like a never-ending void of Marios and Peaches and Luigis and Bowsers. It's a nightmare. Let's just say that. But that's probably, you know, in Nintendo, they're probably gonna add like, I don't know, Dr. Mario and, like, Builder Luigi or Luigi's Mansion Luigi to this. I don't think that one's in there, but still, just making stupid suggestions. Please, Lord, don't let it happen. But where can I put this? I mean, it still adds more content to an already big game. It's $25. It's iffy, but the content you're getting for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think makes it worth it. It's like another 48 tracks. That's like 96 tracks. So, yeah, if you can wrap your head around the Tour tracks and Wiggler of all things, then this is honestly a very welcoming addition to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think a lot of people argued when it was first revealed, why didn't they just do 9? Well, it sounds like at this point they're saving 9 for the next Nintendo console, which I suppose makes sense. Launch the thing with with a Mario Kart game. I don't think it's going to be a launch title, but that would be cool if it was. So where am I going to put the Booster Course Pass? I think I'll put it in the back of B, because again, I feel like the course selection choices could have had less tour. And a lot of the new courses, like Yoshi's Island, which is a great track, and Squeaky Clean Sprint, I'm fairly certain that those were already planned to be tour tracks. But they either made their debut in this, and then were added like a week later to tour, or the bottom line, any original track that's unlabeled is a tour track in a sense, because it's like planned for tour as well. One thing that I don't understand is why, like, you know, they're saying that these are new tracks, even though they promised everything was returning. Bit salty there, very salty to add more tour tracks, you sick bastards. But, regardless, that is the tier list. That is my Mario Kart game tier list. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. There'll be a link to that down in the description, as well as a playlist to my other tier list videos. Be sure to check that out. And again, if you love Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart Tour, please don't take this video personal. It's opinion-based, and I'm not trying to change your mind. So, yeah, I'll be seeing y'all soon.